The Biden administration has deployed money and materiel to the storm zone. That didn't stop former President Trump from making false statements about the federal response as Vice President Harris cut short a campaign swing to meet with FEMA officials. Rachel Scott is tracking the campaigns. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George, good morning to you. Yeah, Donald Trump touched down here in Georgia. He visited a part of this state that had been gutted by that storm. And despite vowing to put politics aside, he still resorted to pushing false claims about President Biden. This morning, President Biden laying into Donald Trump for pushing false claims that Georgia's Republican Governor Brian Kemp could not get President Biden on the phone after the devastating storm, despite the president providing full resources of the federal government to help.
Let me get this straight. He's lying. And the governor told him he was lying. The governor told me he was lying. I've spoken to the governor, spending time with him, and he told me he's lying. I don't know why he does this. And the reason I get so angry about it, I don't care about what he says about me. I care what he communicates to the people that are in need. He implies that we're not doing everything possible. We are.
The Army placed officials and equipment in Georgia ahead of the storm. The federal government has deployed more than 3,500 people to Georgia and other states to respond to the aftermath. Still, this is what Trump said just hours earlier while surveying storm damage in southern Georgia.
The governor's doing a very good job. He's having a hard time getting the president on the phone.
The reality, Kemp himself said he spoke with Biden.
He just said, hey, what do you need? And I told him, you know, we got what we need. We'll work through the federal process. He offered that if there's other things we need, just to call him directly, which I appreciate that.
Vice President Harris also changing her travel plans over the storm, canceling a campaign event in Nevada to return to Washington and meet with FEMA officials, saying she spoke to the governors of Georgia and North Carolina, too.
I plan to be on the ground as soon as possible, but as soon as possible without disrupting any emergency response operations, because that must be the highest priority in the first order of business.
Yeah, and President Biden saying that this is just the beginning when it comes to providing the full resources of the federal government, calling this storm one of the worst ever, George.
And Rachel, a judge has stepped in on Georgia's abortion ban.
Yeah, that judge ruling that Georgia's 6-week abortion ban is unconstitutional. This ruling now allows abortions up here in Georgia until 20 weeks into a woman's pregnancy. This is likely only temporary. The state already vowing to appeal this, but it does put this issue back front and center in this battleground state with just 35 days to go until the November election, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks.